Hello, everybody, and welcome to a really exciting version of the Sherlockian interview. It's an interview I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. It's with Bonnie MacBird. Hi, Bonnie, where are you?
Hi, I'm in London and I'm about a block east of Baker Street. I'm going to take my glasses off because I can't really see.
Oh, fantastic. And I see a bunch of Sherlockian stuff behind you.
Yes, that's right. Here's Les Klinger's trilogy, or his book, his annotated Sherlock Holmes, and this is the Persian slipper with tobacco in it. Actually, it has tea in it, and we have a skull up here.
Oh,
keep me inspired.
Fantastic. Well, we're gonna sort of jump straight in with a bit of a background, bit of a profile. You've been a Holmes fan all your life, very famously
Yes.
since the age of 10. You've got 3 novels. We're going to go deep into those in a moment. So they seem to be coming out every 2 years. Does that mean that we've got something coming in 2021?
You bet. I'm working on book 4 of the series right now.
Fantastic. And obviously you've been published in the Strand, loads of anthologies. Some of the Holmes fans might not know that you were a former screenwriter. You wrote the fantastic science fiction fantasy Tron, which is, in Hollywood circles, I guess everybody knows that, but some Holmes fans might know that. Emmy-winning producer as well. So you ran a production company. You've been an actor as well, so
Yes.
Go check you out on IMDb.
Mostly theater, though.
Mostly theatre.
Yes.
And you're a member of a number of different Sherlockian organisations, and the founder of the Sherlock Holmes Breakfast Club in LA as well.
Yes.
Fantastic. So if we look at your novels, I'm a big fan. I think I had Art in the Blood on pre-order, and I came along to one of your sessions as well. I actually own one of the numbered editions of Art in the Blood as well.
Oh, you one of the special editions with the illustrations in it. Oh yeah,
absolutely. So
Thanks,
that's
Steve.
Fantastic. And before we jump into Devil's Due, which is the new one, I have to ask you, you did have special training for Unquiet Spirits, didn't you, in whiskey training?
Yes, I do a lot of very intense research for these books. And since Unquiet Spirits had to do with the whiskey business, I had to, of course, research that. It was a tough job. Somebody had to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. The lengths that authors go to.
Right.
So
hard. No, but actually it was quite fun. I went up to the Highlands, and then I also went to the island of Isla. It's spelled Islay, but it's Isla. And when I was there, I actually went there to see this distillery that had the actual Victorian equipment still in use. So that stuff appeared in the book.
Oh, fantastic. Well, there's a couple of reviews I wanted to just sort of grab hold of in terms of the key reviews, and go backwards on the slides now. This is technology at its best. So back to the slides. Not quite Hollywood production values here. There we are. There's a fantastic quote there from the Washington Post. One of the best Sherlock Holmes novels of recent memory. I think that's a lovely quote. But the one I'm going to jump onto is actually from Publishers Weekly, which, having worked with over 100 authors now on Sherlock Holmes, recreating the characters and the style of Conan Doyle's originals is something that all Holmes writers aspire to. Conan Doyle didn't write long form because in the Victorian era it just didn't happen then. He wrote 56 short stories and 4 novellas. The Hound is often referred to as kind of a half-length novel in that sense. So, creating something like Devil's Due at this sort of size, what adjustments did you have to make to be able to write long form but stay in Conan Doyle style?
Well, quite a few actually, and I decided on them before I started the first novel. First of all, Conan Doyle wrote other novels, just not Holmes novels, and his charter really was to create a continuing character with short stories, and that was a charter by the Strand, which is kind of groundbreaking and helped their subscriptions. But the reason I chose to do a long form was, well, first of all, when you work long form, you have more chance for character development. Now, character development doesn't feel key in each of the stories, but over the entire canon, there's quite a bit, and the characters are the essential part of it. There has to be, you promise your readers, because you're writing Holmes, you promise mystery, you promise deductions, you promise the friendship, and you promise pace, because Conan Doyle was very pacey. He chose as his narrator an army doctor, so this is a man who didn't wax poetic endlessly about stuff. So given this kind of fast-paced stuff, how do you make that extend into a long form? Well, the way I thought of it was kind of in a movie sense, construction-wise. Movies are considered long form in the world of fiction, and so I realized that several things would have to happen. One is there had to be a really complicated mystery. Otherwise, Holmes, who is the smartest man in the world, right, he would figure it out by page 30. So the mysteries were not just singular, they were triple mysteries, which I kind of combined in a triple helix to intersect. That made it hard enough for Holmes to really challenge him. The second thing I did was when you structure long form, it's different than a structure for a short story. A structure for a short story has a shape like this. It's like one of those little Japanese bridges over a stream. Whereas a structure for a long form is like a suspension bridge with a lot of different pylons. And what those pylons are from a storytelling standpoint is moments of great action or great emotion. So you'll find more of them in my novels than you will find in a single short story. However, I wanted those moments to be really true and feel like the originals. As I said, there's many promises you make when you try to write traditional Holmes. People bring a lot of baggage to reading this stuff, and they get very angry if you, don't deliver on certain things. The final thing that I did in creating long form is mystery and adventure writing falls into what we call genre writing. Genre writing doesn't typically have a lot of theme, so as opposed to like lit fic. So, but theme is something that leaves you with something, and so without being preachy or without underlining it too much, I have theme in all of my novels. The first one, Art in the Blood, being the incredible gifts and detriments of having an artistic temperament, because Holmes is clearly an artist, and there are a lot of artists in the story as well. So in other words, I picked something to just to explore a little bit without getting too verbose about it, but it's just underlying there, and I think that also helps in creating long form. You don't really need that in a short story.
That's fantastic, and I think one of the things I love about Holmes is that each of the books is completely standalone. So you can read you can read Devil's Due as a book in its own right. It's not sequential. Obviously, as you said, that there's character development as you go through. So
they're sequential in terms of years. Like Art in the Blood is 1888, Unquiet Spirit is 1889, and Devil's Due is 1890. But you're right; you don't have to read them in order. They don't demand that you know something from before. But I did choose those years because I wanted to write them as young men, young, kind of adventurous and not fully experienced, but just I sort of saw them as very handsome, dashing young men.
Fantastic, and it wouldn't be an MX interview if we didn't talk a little bit about how we've worked with you personally. So the MX Book of New Sherlock Holmes Stories is just launching volumes 19, 20, and 21, and you are one of the 200 plus authors that's participated. You've been in 3 of the volumes so far, and hopefully several more in the future as well. It's been wonderful having you involved. You've done quite a bit down at Undershore as well, where Stepping Stones is based.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about what they did with that place, and there's a long history, obviously, trying to save Conan Doyle's magnificent house there. But yes, that was a lot of fun.
Fantastic, and one of the things that has been interesting in doing some research for this infographic that we've created, which which has been done with the help of Brian Bellinger. He's a wonderful cover designer that we work with, is counting everything up. So we're up over 1 million words now through the collection, more than 400 stories. And interestingly, my wife Sharon's been looking at the role of female writers, because we've been doing March is our celebration of female Sherlockians, with the run up to International Women's Day on the 8th of March. And we've worked out that we have over 100 Sherlock Holmes stories now from MX, from the collection, and others from female writers. So we have over 40 writers now in the MX family that are female Sherlockians. So there's definitely a big role for female writers these days with Holmes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, women do love Holmes. They really do. I mean, there's so much to love about him.
Do you see that? Do you see a difference between the way male and female writers approach Holmes? Or
no, not the good ones. The good ones, I think. Well, I'm interested as a writer and a reader in traditional style Holmes. There's lots of very creative things that other people are doing. You know, Holmes and monsters, Holmes and Watson as two women. I mean, there's lots of interesting things that people do. Holmes is, you know, in romantic affairs. I never write that stuff. I write traditional. That's something that I would like to see could have been written by Conan Doyle. But still within that, there's quite a bit you can do. And I think he's such an appealing outsider character, and I just think he's you know, I wrote an article about why he's hot.
Fantastic. Well, I think there's a lot of fans out there that would agree.
He's just a fabulous character, especially for those who like smart people, and most Holmes readers do. I mean, they're attracted to the fact that somebody who's brilliant and has accrued an incredible amount of knowledge and applies rational thought to things. That's especially refreshing right now.
Oh yes, in the current
yes.
Climate, which we won't get into.
Women love rational thought.
They
How
do.
about that?
They certainly do. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
For the fans out there that want to read some more about Bonnie, there's a wonderful profile on the HarperCollins website. You can go and visit Amazon.com. Bonnie's profile's there, and you have MacBird.com as well. You can follow Bonnie on social media as well under MacBird. So thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you, Steve.
To you, and very much looking forward to the next installment in 2021.
Yes, it's called The Three Locks.
So you heard it here first. Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
3 Locks. Thanks, Bonnie.